Let's talk about Hoosick Falls, New York, a small village that spent nearly a decade fighting a chemical giant. In July, Dupont finally agreed to pay $27 million to settle a class-action lawsuit over water contamination. This wasn't charity, it was damage control, with Dupont admitting no wrongdoing but clearly feeling the heat. The lawsuit accused Dupont of knowingly contaminating the town's water with a forever chemical. For years, residents watched property values drop and health fears rise, all while fighting for justice. The case revealed Dupont knew about the dangers as far back as the 1970s but did nothing. Their defense? We made the poison but didn't pour it in the water. Not exactly reassuring. This settlement is a hard-won acknowledgement of the community's suffering, a down payment on a debt that can never truly be repaid. It's a testament to the power of ordinary people refusing to be ignored. The chemical at the heart of this crisis is PFOA, part of the PFAS family, better known as forever chemicals. PFAS are used in non-stick pans, waterproof gear, and more. But they don't break down in the environment or our bodies. Factories like the one in Hoosick Falls dumped PFOA waste for decades, contaminating soil and groundwater. The water looked normal, but every sip delivered a dose of toxic chemicals designed to last forever. Once in your body, PFAS stick around for years, building up over time. Blood tests showed Hoosick Falls residents had PFOA levels over 30 times the national average. These chemicals travel easily through groundwater, spreading contamination far beyond the original site. Cleaning them up is a nightmare. They're water-soluble, mobile, and nearly indestructible. This isn't just a Hoosick Falls problem. PFAS contamination is a global crisis. The very qualities that made PFAS useful now make them an environmental menace for generations. So what does PFOA do to your body? The list is grim: increased risk of testicular and kidney cancer, thyroid disease, liver problems, and high cholesterol. Pregnant women and children are especially vulnerable. PFOA exposure is linked to low birth weights and developmental issues. It can even weaken the immune system, making vaccines less effective in infants. The real danger is the slow, silent buildup. Years of exposure before anyone knew. Every unexplained illness becomes a source of anxiety. Is this because of the water? That's why medical monitoring is a key part of the settlement. Early detection can save lives. The settlement funds regular health screenings for residents, giving them a fighting chance. It's not just about compensation, it's about protecting people from future harm. For Hoosick Falls, this is the bare minimum after years of being unwitting test subjects. The damage may be invisible, but the threat is real and long-lasting. The contamination didn't come to light by accident. It was uncovered by a resident, Michael Hickey, after his father died of kidney cancer. Hickey tested his own water and found sky-high PFOA levels, forcing the crisis into public view. But officials knew about the problem long before the public did. Emails revealed they were aware as early as August 2014. For over a year, residents drank contaminated water while officials stayed silent. State health officials confirmed the danger in January 2016, but initially asked for secrecy instead of action. This wasn't just incompetence, it was a betrayal of public trust. The system failed. Local and state agencies prioritized reputation over health. It took one determined citizen and media attention to force the truth out. The lesson? Accountability rarely comes from the top, it's demanded from below. Hoosick Falls is proof that ordinary people can force change when institutions fail. DuPont's $27 million is just part of a much larger payout. Over $90 million has been secured for Hoosick Falls. Multiple companies, including Saint-Gobain, Honeywell, and 3M, were held responsible for decades of contamination. The factory changed hands, but the pollution never stopped. Corporate blame shifting didn't matter to residents. These settlements reflect the scale of the harm. This was no minor leak, but a catastrophic failure of responsibility. Each company played a role and each was forced to pay. The case sets a precedent. Even when liability is spread across decades and corporations, communities can win. It's a warning to polluters. Complex corporate structures won't shield you from accountability. Persistence and a comprehensive legal strategy made every company pay up. Where does the $90 million go? It's split between health monitoring and property compensation. $6 million funds long-term health screenings for thousands of exposed residents. The rest compensates homeowners for lost property value and the disruption to their lives. Over 2,500 claims have been filed, proof of how many lives were upended. Meanwhile, the village relied on bottled water and temporary filters before installing permanent filtration systems in 2017. These giant Brita filters have kept PFAS out of the water, but it's only a stopgap. The real fix is a new uncontaminated water source, an expensive infrastructure project now underway. New wells and pipelines are being built, with clean water expected by early 2025. Only then will Hoosick Falls finally close this painful chapter. The Hoosick Falls settlement is a victory for accountability. A small town took on corporate giants and won, but this is just one battle in a nationwide war against PFAS contamination. Over 11,000 similar lawsuits are moving through U.S. courts, and the crisis is far from over. Last year, Dupont and its spin-offs agreed to a $1.185 billion settlement for water systems across the country. The lesson? We need stronger regulations and proactive protection, not just after-the-fact payouts. Companies must be responsible for the entire life cycle of their chemicals, not just the cleanup. Hoosick Falls shows the power of persistence, a free press, and community action. Clean water is a basic human right, not a luxury or a prize you win after years in court. We must demand more from corporations and government and support other communities still fighting. The war for clean water isn't over, but Hoosick Falls proves it can be won.